TUSSAUD'S in London. Firmly on the tourist trail, the famous waxworks has been the most popular attraction in the capital for 7 years. But it's easy to reach from the Thames Valley too, just next door to Baker Street on the Underground, 3 stops away from Paddington Station. Madame Tussauds has begun to get a bit of a reputation as a disappointment, but just recently they've been hard at work on new attractions. It's the queue that puts people off a visit to Madame Tussauds. You could wait up to an hour to get into London's busiest tourist attraction, but it is worth it.
Journey with us to the past. Your carriage awaits.
Over the last 5 years, Tussauds have spent £21 million updating the show, adding a touch of showbiz that literally brings the waxworks to life. For this season, the main event is an all-singing and dancing ride-on waxwork experience.
The spirit of London, an extraordinary ride new at Madame Tussauds.
From your black cab cars, you're presented with a 5-minute whirlwind of tableau depicting London through the ages. From Elizabethan times through the fire of London with the real smell of smoke, on to the Second World War, and then the 60s. The images come as fast and as loud as a pop video, and they keep up the pace in the static displays. This is Hollywood legends, Marilyn Monroe and James Dean alongside Alfred Hitchcock. There's the latest James Bond, Timothy Dalton, and Joan Collins making an impressive entrance. It's quite a crush through some of these displays at peak times, and that continues through most of Tussauds. This room is the garden party, where you can mingle with celebrity guests like Gazza or Will Carling. This really is a very elegant garden party. I didn't recognise Dudley Moore when I came in, but Kylie here is as lovely as ever. And there are more clever tricks.
Oi! Granite face!
Hmm?
What? Why can't I wear a pink suit? 'Cause you're just a head. I thought we were neck and neck.
Oh, ha, very funny. Go back to sleep.
Like all celebrities, Lenny Henry came to Madame Tussauds to be measured for his waxwork. Each one takes a phenomenal 6 months of work in the studios above the exhibition, which the public aren't allowed to visit. Real hair is used, every strand inserted by hand. Each model starts in clay. Detailed measurements are taken to make a representation rather than a copy of the subject.
When we have sittings with people, you can be taking upwards of 100 photographs. You take straight-on photographs and then gradually go around the head, getting all the different profiles. And they can have a subtly different expression in each one of the photographs. And so you have to be very careful to select, choose the ones that you want to get across the character that you're trying to portray.
There are up to 12 sculptors working at Tussauds at any one time, using skills developed by Madame Tussaud herself 200 years ago. This is the oldest waxwork in the exhibition, Sleeping Beauty. Even in the 18th century, her chest moved up and down. There's one other feature of Tussauds you may remember from an earlier visit, the Chamber of Horror. I don't know if it's the fact that the Chamber of Horrors is actually under the ground and it feels cold, or that you can smell the London fog of the 1800s, but it seems like Jack the Ripper is just around the corner. With executions and assorted murderers lurking down here, I was glad it was busy the day we went. So, a very impressive show, that's the good news. The bad news, the price. The standard admission is £7.40, £5.50 for pensioners, £4.75 for children. There are special group rates, but that's a hefty admission charge, even for a top London attraction. A family could pay more than £50 for the day out, including rail fares. Is it value for money? I would say yes, the displays are as good as you'll find anywhere at Disneyland. If it wasn't for the crowds, it spoils the visit to have to queue for so long and to have to jostle to see what you want. So the final rating of 6 out of 10 reflects the high price and the problems with Tussauds' popularity. Maybe away from the height of the summer season, it would be easier to recommend the waxworks for a visit.